I didn't really have a timeline. Always hoping once you get engaged in a negotiation that it can go quickly. Very appreciative of Victor and Peter to want to get going, and we both wanted. Our preference was to get something done quickly. It really helps from our perspective, trying to plan for next year and beyond. Knowing the earlier we know a guy's cap number, it helps project other things and plan for others. So obviously with Stammer and Victor, these are the two cornerstones. One was the first pick overall, the other the second pick overall. Very important players to our franchise. Really, really good people, represent our organization. High character guys, great leaders. And so it's important, and good couple of days for the organization, and now we can, we still have a few contracts to continue to work on and hopefully get those done over the summer.
How much do those two sort of set up what you need to do with those guys? How much does it help towards getting those done?
Well, we'll find out. Again,
at least in terms of what you have in your mind and what you have slotted,
yeah,
what you think.
yeah. More so with the restricted players, you have a better idea what the contract is going to be. It's just dependent on the term you settle on. With players with arb rights, you can generally have a range and have a better idea where they're going to come in. But again, starting with Steven and then with Victor, and can kind of chip away at each contract. And like I said, we have an idea of the range of the salary for the remaining contracts. Just a question of how long the term is, and kind of figure that out as we go.
How much did it help that Steven signed on Wednesday? Did that send any message to Victor how committed you guys were to keeping this core together?
I don't think so. I think Vic and Steven are very close. I don't know how much they talk about their own situations. I really don't know. I've never asked either of them that. But I know they both want to be here. They've been together virtually, while all of Victor's, and Steven's been here for all of Victor's career. So they're close. They both want to win. They both want to stay here. So when Stammer, his contract gets done and he wants to be here, Vic follows along, and we're happy, obviously. And I think we have a really close bunch of guys. I think they have a lot of fun together. They enjoy playing together, and they've had some success, and they want to continue that. So there's, I believe, a willingness. It starts with Stammer, and hopefully it helps with all the players. Is that, hey, we want to be here. We're enjoying playing together, and let's get our contracts done and get back to work.
So you have to make a decision on end goal sometime in the next year. What does this contract for Vasi do for that process, or indicative of what kind of decision?
Doesn't really speed up the decision at all. Andrei's contract doesn't kick in for another season. He's got 1 year left on his entry-level deal. So it doesn't really change the process. I've said, we know I have to make a decision at some point. Again, Bish, either one of them, if they're left unprotected, I firmly believe I don't know what will happen around the rest of the league, but if one of these two guys is available, they're going to get claimed. So I'll have to make a decision at a point in the future.
But you haven't made that decision yet then? This is indicative you making a decision on Vasilevskiy over Bishop, I guess, at this point. I have an idea in mind of what I want to do, and I really don't want to get into that with you. I don't want to share that with you. So we'll just see how things play along here. And again, if something that makes sense happens a day from now, a month from now, at the trade deadline, we'll look at it, and we're prepared if need be. And it wouldn't be the worst situation in the world, as we have two really good goaltenders to play the year out.
How much did Syracuse get a face-off today as well?
I know I haven't had a chance to sit down with Julian. I'm trying to think of the number that were coming in there pretty quickly, but added a few, good young players, guys that have been good in the American League. Bourneval, I'm thinking of one, and pardon me. Jeremy Moore, more of a veteran, good guy, played a little bit more, good scoring. It looks like we've lost a few forwards that played in Syracuse last year. Some are veterans, so to be able to replace them quickly is very, very important on July 1. So to be able to help that team out is crucial, and Julian's been hard at work at that for the last couple of days and able to close a couple of contracts. But I'm sure he'll be available to speak to all the the moves in Syracuse for you either today or tomorrow.
Speak about their contracts. Where you guys at with Nikita Kucherov at this point in terms of progress, or just optimistic you can get something?
Well, we certainly want to. I think it's been expressed from Scott Greenspun, Nikita's agent, that we're engaged in contract discussions, and we'll do our best to get them done as quickly as possible. But it's a process to go through, and hopefully sooner than later. But I'm confident at some point we'll be able to reach an agreement.
Not that any value to the contract negotiations, but how valuable of a player has Nikita become for you in his 3 years since he's returned?
Well, I mean, he's an outstanding player, good in all aspects of the game, offensively, defensively. He's a scorer, he's a playmaker, very good defensively, hard worker. So quickly he's become, he's still relatively young, 3 years of pro hockey. He's becoming a leader on our team and really a go-to guy for us. But he can play in a lot of situations, do a lot of things on the ice. So we're pleased with the core that we have, and we're going to do everything we can to keep that core together and surround them with really good players. But Nikita, again, he continues to develop, and he's very determined to be an elite hockey player and a complete hockey player.
Steve, in a matter of 3 days, you guys put out $140 million in contracts. What does it say about the commitment from Jeff Vinik for this hockey team? And I mean, that's maybe the biggest signings you've had all at once in franchise history.
Yeah, well, Jeff wants to win. He wants his team to do well, and we've gotten close here. He wants to win. We have a salary cap to deal with, and for the foreseeable future, we plan to spend to that cap. And with the players that we have, we're going to have to spend to the cap if we want to keep them. So, again, Jeff wants a really good hockey team, and he wants to win, and we're trying to do that.
Other than your own guys, I know you said Syracuse signings today, but anything in signings on the free agent route other than your own guys, like on the market, or
do I expect any?
Any signings?
Unless I can really generate some cap space, I'm not in a position right now to do anything.
With the guys you still have to sign between next year and now, is there enough money to go around with the guys that you have in your core?
Well, between now and the start of 17-18, if we're going to sign all the players, we're going to have to make some changes. Like, to what extent, I'm not sure, but we're not going to be able to simply sign every single guy, keep the exact same group together. It's not possible.
Do you envision Ben being here at least through the trade deadline next season?
Potentially, yeah. And, we could keep both goaltenders here. That's very possible, yes.
Can you explain how that worked with Ben if he was left unprotected in expansion? He's a free agent in July, which would be about 2 weeks after the expansion draft. Do they potentially lose him 2 weeks later if he doesn't?
Yes, yeah. I think any potential unrestricted free agent has no obligation to sign. So any potential obligation or unrestricted free agent who's free, I would assume that they wouldn't claim him, but quite possibly they could, and have the first kick at trying to get them signed. So I really can't speak for what Las Vegas would want to do. I don't know.
Would that make him less attractive though?
I don't know what they're thinking. What their decision would be. So, but yeah, again, I can't answer for what they would want to do.
Good.